Hi, good day to you, Libra. Welcome to Meenakshi Tarot. This is Meenakshi. Today is the 3rd of August. So if you come across this reading anytime from the 3rd of August onwards, you will most probably mean to see it. But if the reading is not resonating with you, a few cards fell out here. So if the reading is not resonating with you, then kindly look at your moon, your Venus, and your rising signs. So let's see. You've got the Two of Pentacles, you've got the Five of Swords in reverse, and you've got the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's see what's falling out. The Hanged Man. Okay, Libra. Okay, let's see. What more can we see here, Libra? What's more? Okay, the Hanged Man. King of Pentacles in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, and Knight of Wands in reverse. So some of you Librans might also have Aquarius and Gemini energy in your chart. Some might have Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo in their chart. Okay, we are seeing a very intense situation, and don't be afraid of reversals. You know, they just tell us a more in-depth version of what is going on, may or may not apply to you in your situation. So Libra, some of you are trying to balance the situation. You might be facing a little bit of a cash flow problem at the moment, and you're just literally trying to juggle to make things work for you. But it's also because some of you are finding yourself in a situation that you have refused to listen to reason. You have refused advice. You've been very stubborn, and you are continuing on a path and refusing to change this path that you are on. It's almost as though it's like you are set on being destructive. You know, you should rather look at reconsidering what you're doing, reconsidering where you are at right now, reconsidering the choices that you are making. It's important as well that you hold yourself back from whatever it is that you are getting yourself involved in. And if things can go on without you, it's best it goes on without you. It's an important time that you step back from anything that is going to, especially financially, drain you. So we see that there's a little bit of indecisive energy here with you. And it's also because a lack of foresight has put you into this kind of trouble that you have. You know, your so-called friends have offered you almost no help. They may have betrayed you and betrayed your confidence or given you wrong advice. Maybe somebody has been quite malicious in their intentions. But this is being quite a calamity for some of you. But this does give you the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. It gives you the opportunity to revisit what you're doing, how you are doing what you are doing, and look at what needs to be changed in your situation. It's very important that you realize that there are some changes that needs to be made, that you need to start viewing things from a different point of view. It's important as well that you realize that it is like, this is like a very intense reading here. It's like you need to take a very resolute action when it comes to your financials. You cannot allow yourself to doubt yourself. You cannot allow yourself to be naive. You know, you may have rivals. You may have enemies around you. You might even be dealing with somebody who is a very vengeful person, somebody who is lacking in imagination and perspective. So you could be dealing with a very difficult and a very toxic situation. And you need to be very mindful of where you are at and what it is that you are dealing with. You cannot try to run away from it because it doesn't suit you to have to deal with this situation. So you need to be very mindful of this energy that you have here. This is just like a very difficult time. And some of you may feel, oh gosh, I've hit rock bottom. Nothing can be worse than what it is. Unfortunately, rock bottom has a basement, Libra. And you need to look at it in a positive light, that even though you have tumbled down this hole, things can only get better after this. There are lessons that you have learned, and one of the lessons you have learned is mind your friends, mind your company, and please be conscious of where you're taking your advice from. It's important that you look at where you're getting your advice from. It's, you need to realize that in your situations that you can't doubt yourself, even though you've made some really bad choices here. That if you're going to be afraid and you're going to be embarrassed about things, that's what's going to defeat you. You should also realize that you could find yourself in some kind of an unusual situation or experience if you don't nip it in the bud. And otherwise, it's just going to get worse for you if you don't control what is going on right now. It's important that you realize that you need to control the situation and have almost like a reality check about what is going on in your circumstance. It's also very important that you realize that some of you might be dealing with somebody who's a very harsh critic, somebody who's very suspicious, somebody who could be a bit of a schemer, very manipulative, very good at playing mind games. So if you are dealing with somebody like this, you need to be mindful. Some of you might be feeling quite powerless in your situations, as if you have no control over what is happening. And you need to really see the situation for what it truly is, not what you would like it to be. So there is this demand for self-reflection and honesty about things. Some of you might also be and should be mindful about what has happened here, that you're not burning your own bridges. You could be burning good bridges as well as bad bridges. But you must also be very mindful that you could be dealing with a very confrontational person who may have a bitter streak or a bit violent or just has no positive energy. You could be dealing with this kind of negativity. It's almost like, can I use the word negative? This is like a very negative situation that some of you are going through, and it is a negative situation. But Libra, you've brought this upon yourself with the choices that you've made out of ego and arrogance, and now you find yourself here. Unfortunately, this is all the time I have on TikTok for this reading, so I'm going to say goodbye to TikTok people, but I will be continuing this reading on YouTube. So goodbye TikTok, and let's carry on YouTube. So my YouTube people, this has to get better from here. Everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes we think we're right, and we just go down a path that just messes things up. Let's see what more does the tarot have to say. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Eight of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, Cancer energy, Seven of Wands, the High Priestess. Some of you may very well have a Cancer person in your space. So if you do have a Cancer person in your space, have a look at their reading as well, because there has been similar cards in Cancer's reading that has come up in your reading as well. So you are facing situations here that may not be of your doing, but also situations that's making you realize that you do need to move forward in your life. You can't just stay where you're at. You need to look at where you're at. But moving forward also doesn't mean running away. So you got to make sure that you're not pursuing a dream that is an unreal dream for you, that you're not chasing rainbows. You need to be very mindful that you could be chasing something at the expense of something that could really be good for you, that could be very real in your life. So you need to be mindful of your thoughts and your words. And as much as you have seen some loss in your life, you've got to be mindful of not being selfish. You've got to be mindful of not holding on to yourself now and becoming embittered about things. Maybe also realizing that you do have some knowledge, you do have wisdom that you need to rely on. But remember, the sword cuts both ways when it comes to dealing with situations and dealing with people. Some of you might be having a very loving person in your space, somebody who's always loving, and some of you might be in a situation where you need to choose, maybe having cooperation from others. Some of you might also be dealing with rivals as well. So it's like quite a contrary situation here. There's some kind of difficulties when it comes to things, especially when it comes to how you are going to move forward financially and the contentment that you are looking for. You could be dealing with somebody who's a very loving person. On the other hand, you could be dealing with somebody as well around you who's very materialistic and likes all the good things, and could be very stubborn. Also somebody who's very independent. So you need to look at how it is that you want to see what for you is good fortune. Is it love? Is it money? What for you is it? Where do you place your importance? You see that you are moving forward and you are realizing that there is some things that are making you feel very defensive, but you do need to realize that you do have options and you can move forward. But you must also be mindful of your dreams, your insights, your intuition. Some of you might be wanting to reach out and have readings done. Please make sure you have reading done with somebody that you trust and somebody that you can get good advice from. Okay. Some of you might also find yourself deeply attracted to somebody that you have been denying this attraction with. It's like you don't want to pursue this attraction, but there could be a deep attraction here, Libra, that you might be having. You might have an option for that. You've got the Sun, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles twice, 3 of Wands, King of Pentacles again in reverse, Justice, Libra energy, and your energy in reverse, 7 of Swords in reverse, the Hermit, Virgo energy in reverse, and 5 of Wands. It's like you are like determined to be self-destructive here. You have this joy, this blissfulness, you have all of this here in your situation. But what are the choices that you are making? What are the choices that you are making for yourself, Libra, in your situation? Where is it that you want to be? You're looking at these readings and you're looking at the decisions that you are making for yourself. You're looking at your love situation. Where is it that you want to be? There's it's almost as though a lot of the problems you have brought upon yourself, and you need to accept that you have brought these problems on yourself, that you have made these decisions to be in the place that you are in. And you need to take those steps to bring yourself back onto a prosperous path. And you may already have friendship and love and families. You already have all of this in place. So you need to choose to either sit in your isolation bubble or to move forward and to be part of the collective. Some of you might be wanting to take a trip, might be wanting to move forward with the situation or even with the relationship, but you could be holding yourself back out of fear. Maybe you are afraid of dealing with somebody who is a difficult person. Maybe you are afraid of dealing with somebody that you see as a rival. Maybe it's somebody that you are seeing as a rival for your affection. Somebody that you are seeing as just a problem. But you need to realize that you need to move forward. You know, you got the Justice in reverse. And it's very important that you realize that you do need to face yourself in your issues. You need to face your worst fears, your worst nightmares about yourself, and not allow yourself to be consumed and staying in denial and not accepting the things as they are. Sometimes there are things about ourselves that we don't want to accept. And this reading is saying to me that you really need to look at that darker side of yourself and let the darker energy of you, or rather, you're in this negative dramatic phase right now. So be positive and look at yourself in a positive way. Instead of getting caught up with the negative drama, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, see the goodness that is you and see the goodness that you bring to the table. It's very important. There could be some lies and some theft, basically general dishonesty that has happened in your situation. And there could also be some of you dealing with malice intentions towards yourself as well. However, you need to be very wary of whom you can trust. And don't take anything at face value. So it's very important that you double check, even triple check if need be, your security, your situations. It's very important that you do that. Also, sometimes you could be in a situation where you are finding that wisdom and caution has really just rushed out the door. And some of you might be feeling quite lonely and quite isolated. And some of you who are younger might be feeling as though you wish to disregard the advice of your elders, because you may feel that as a young person it's a different world and you know everything. It's the same world, it's just different music. So just be mindful of yourself. Be mindful of not becoming cantankerous and obstinate. Be mindful that you are not allowing yourself to become petulant and refusing genuine help. Be mindful of not wanting to work together and be in collaboration and wanting to do things your own way, because that is a sure way to repeat the pattern and to fall down again. So you really need to take stock of yourself, Libra. You've put yourself in a hectic, complicated, almost masochistic situation. And you need to take a moment to pause and to redirect your steps. A very intense reading for you, Libra. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope it's given you some direction. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care and goodbye.